crafty friends, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today I'm doing an overview of COLORBURST powders from Ken Oliver Crafts. And what COLORBURST are powdered pigments that turn into watercolor paint. And so what I've done here for you is I've made a little swatch so you can see the colors of, I don't know if I'm saying it right, alizarin crimson, orange, lemon yellow, phthalo green, ultramarine blue, and violet. Now it's important to notice that there are three primary colors, the crimson, yellow, and blue, and then orange, green, and violet of course are combinations, and they're true combinations in that in the powder crystals you will get variations of a pink and a blue, a yellow and a blue, and then a yellow and a red. So they're beautiful, they have great color variations, and I'd love to show you how they work. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know that I'm kind of shooting in a box. I will show you what the setup is. And the reason why I am working inside a box is because these powders do become airborne pretty quickly and they will float. And so I wanna protect my work surface. Now you can work on cardboard or paper or even newspaper, but I do recommend finding some way of kind of containing the powders. They are listed as non-toxic, but it does say don't inhale. I'm going to tell you that once you start poofing these out, they will end up in your nose and you will end up with some very colorful mucus. So don't inhale them, but you also can't keep them from going airborne because it's a powder. So what I'm going to do is just uncap it so you can see it has a little fine tip here. And then in order to use them, I'll just kind of get them started here in the paper, and you can almost see that there's almost like a little smoke that comes up. So they drizzle on the paper, but then it poofs up a little bit. And of course, if you just had it like this, you could actually just brush it away. I can rub it in, and the oils on my finger will actually activate them and get them ready to go. But more importantly, if I poof some more out, actually, I'm going to do a little bit of blue and a little bit of the purple just because I think that's really pretty. And you get some variations, as I mentioned, in those color crystals. It doesn't look like much until you add water. But once you do, I'm going to let that just kind of... Sorry, I ran out of water and then I ran out of battery, so I have to kind of start over again. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and poof down some of the color. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the blue. Oh, you can see I had a drop of water already on my paper. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this purple. Whoa, or a lot of purple. Again, did I mention that you really can't control it? It kind of goes everywhere. But now I'm going to go ahead and give it a spray. And this is where you'll see kind of the magic happen. By the way, this is heavy color watercolor paper. This is about 110, I think, or 140. But it really, you have to use a nice heavy-duty watercolor paper to absorb all of the water that you're going to want to put on this. So what you're going to see is that these are really bright and vibrant colors. They really are quite lovely, and I give Ken a lot of credit for designing such pretty vibrant colors, and a little does go a long way. So if you want to mix it up, let me go ahead and just swap this out real quick and try not to get this everywhere. If you do want to mix it up, you can mix it up and use it like watercolor. So you'd add some powder and then add some water like so, and then use your brush and mix it up, and now you have watercolor paint. Although I'm not exactly sure why you would necessarily want to do this, just because kind of the fun of it is that you can use the powder form. But of course you can control how light or dark you want it to be depending on how much water you add. And I will also note that this is truly a watercolor, so if you add more water on top, it's gonna reactivate and move around a lot. So it's really fun to play with. And this is some coated paper that's actually just packaging, but you can see even with the coated paper, it's really, really pretty. Now I would just let this dry and maybe tape it down to keep it from curling so much. Okay, so lastly, let's just go through a few swatches because everybody wants to know how it looks on different paper. I just wanted to show you that this is truly a watercolor. As I mentioned, it is not opaque, so it's a great paint for layering because it will kind of blend into whatever paper you're using. Of course, that also means is that it's really not appropriate for very dark or black substrates because you just won't see it. Now, I did paint some ribbon with it, and it gives you a beautiful, beautiful effect. However, this is watercolor, and if you reactivate it, it will just wash out. So if you're going to watercolor your ribbons, make sure that they will not come in contact with water or washing. Okay, so on this piece, you see I used just a manila folder, and I really tried not to blend it too much. I wanted that kind of nebula piecey look. It's really pretty on that. By the way, you can use it with a stencil. Here I made a print with a stencil, and on this one I kind of dusted it through the stencil and then activated the powders afterwards. Now just remember again, this is going to stain your hands a little bit. It's also going to become airborne, and later on you are going to find little drops of color everywhere. You'll wipe up the table and just see color all the time because these little powders get airborne and they go everywhere. Also, protect your work surface. I just dropped a paintbrush, and now my background paper is purple. So it stains, and it stains quickly on paper, on absorbent surfaces especially. So on these last two samples, I just want to leave you with this. I actually came up with a little technique that I'm going to share in a follow-up video, but it's really pretty. Of course, you could stamp and emboss and then use this as a watercolor, you know, inside the heat embossed images. You could just use it as backgrounds. It's just very painterly, and really I think it lends to exploration. So these are really pretty, lots of fun, a little on the pricey side, a little on the limited to get side right now. But certainly if you've got the income, it is worth it to play with them. Aren't they gorgeous? Yes, they are. All right, thank you so much for watching crafttestdummies.com. Please visit us for more tips, techniques, and tutorials and reviews. We'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment. And as always, have a crafty day.